Ouch! What's going on? Your ankles seem to be under attack. Is somebody very small trying to knock you over? Did you anger an army of pixies? Or did somebody make the mistake of giving the Roomba a knife? None of the above. It's actually your cat. Yep, for some reason our fur babies can't get enough of our feet and ankles. Whether you're standing upright, lying in bed, or sitting down, your feet are never fully safe from a cat attack. But why does your kitty want to hurt you like this? What's up with these sudden, unprovoked assaults? Did you do something to offend them? Well, you'll be relieved to know, probably not. Surprisingly enough, a cat attacking your feet and ankles isn't necessarily a sign of aggression. In fact, there are 7 perfectly benign reasons why your fur baby might choose to try and assault your ankles. But before we dive in and explain them, along with how to keep your cat from teething on your toes, why not subscribe and join our feline loving community for more tips and tricks to help you understand your cat. Reason number 1. What are these? The most common reason why your cat, especially if they're a very young kitten, might try to attack your feet is also the strangest. They might not realize that they're feet. You have to remember that you are around 6 times larger than your cat, assuming that you're not unusually short anyway, or that your cat isn't unusually large. And because you walk on 2 legs, you absolutely tower above them. It can be hard at times for them to process that all of what they're seeing, from your face floating all the way up in the sky to your feet right next to them, is really part of you. Especially given our human habit of disguising our feet by putting socks and shoes on them to make them look completely different, or covering them with blankets. Is it any wonder that our cats can get confused? Reason number 2. Look down. Another side effect of your fur baby being so much smaller than you is that it can be hard to get your attention when they want it. Obviously, meowing at the top of their little lungs is always an option, but humans have a distressing habit of ignoring loud meows if they've been distracted by something trivial like needing to make themselves some food or go to the bathroom. But the average human will find it much harder to ignore a cat actively clawing at their ankles. They'll definitely get your notice then, and hopefully you'll do whatever they want you to do in order to make them stop attacking you. Reason number 3. The game's afoot. Cats love playing with each other and with their human friends. Unfortunately, humans don't always do well with cat games. If you've ever watched 2 cats playing together, then you might be able to understand why. Cats playing can look a lot like cats fighting. They claw and bite, they roll on top of each other, and they chase each other around. It's perfectly friendly, but if you don't have a thick shield of fur to protect you from scratches and bites, then it can feel a little less appealing. Your kitty, again especially if they're very young, likely doesn't understand this. Cats aren't always good at understanding the ways in which humans are different from them, aside from our useful ability to open cat food cans, that is. And your kitty might have a go at attacking your ankles in an attempt to get you to join them for a friendly game. You're probably less enthusiastic, but at least you can appreciate the thought, right? Reason number 4. Love hurts. As you might have gathered already, cats have some pretty funny ways of showing that they love us, and one of the weirdest ways that they try to communicate their affections is by biting us. Yup, that's right. You can get bitten by a cat even if you do everything right. Nobody's fingers or toes are ever really safe. Love bites, as they're called, aren't really meant to be painful. Cats bite each other as a natural part of grooming, the way that they help each other keep clean. These bites will probably be uncomfortable, but they won't draw blood or leave any marks. It's annoying that this is how your little ankle biter has chosen to show that they love you, but at least the sentiment is nice. Now you just have to teach them how to express it with flowers instead. Reason number 5. Routine attacks. Sometimes, if a cat attacks you regularly enough, then the attacks themselves can become just parts of their routine. This is a pattern you definitely don't want to fall into. Say every time you sit down in a certain chair, your cat attacks your ankles. Maybe the first time you sat there was just something about the way your legs were swinging that made them look extra tempting. Now, however, your kitty isn't really interested in any reason for the attacks. They just know that human sitting in that chair means ankle attack time. This is bad for you, the human, because once a behavior has become an established part of your kitty's daily routine, it can be much harder to convince them to knock it off and give your poor feet a rest. Reason number 6. Tasty toes. This explanation might seem obvious at first glance, then super weird when you think about it for a little longer. Then it kinda makes sense again when you think about it a little more. One reason why your cat might try and bite your feet in particular is because your feet taste good. Human feet sweat a lot, especially when they've been kept in a pair of shoes all day, and they often gather a lot of interesting smells from when we're out and about. It's gross to think about, but to a cat, this makes human feet very appealing. The smelliest feet you've ever encountered, even those that made everyone present demand that their owner never take their shoes off in public again, and possibly burn the poor shoes once they were in private to put them out of their misery, are a smorgasbord of tastes and smells to the average cat. Our kitties like salt, which is a key ingredient in sweat, and they like to smell unusual and interesting things. If your kitty's attacks could be described less as assaults and more like taste tests, then this might be the reason behind them. Reason number 7. Basic instincts. Cats are instinctively driven to hunt things that move in certain ways. Dangling string and wiggling a laser pointer will show you as much. Smaller objects that move somewhat erratically have an irresistible attraction to our kitties. Human feet, to a cat, kind of move erratically as well. You might think that you walk in a straight line, but from a close-up on the ground perspective, we bet that you shuffle sometimes, get diverted on your track, or hop from foot to foot. It's a natural part of how we humans move, and it's something that makes our feet very appealing to our kitties. How do I stop my cat from biting me? The answer is more obvious than you'd think. You just need to let them know that it hurts. Since so much of cat play involves pretending to fight each other, cats develop ways to let each other know when the play has got too rough very early into kittenhood. To let your kitty know that you need a timeout in a language that they can understand, simply make a loud yelping noise to let them know that they've hurt you, and then remove yourself from the situation for a few minutes. Don't yell at your cat or attempt to punish them, but withhold attention for a minute or so, and then go back to playing. This lets your kitty know that if they scratch or bite, then playtime will stop. Since they don't want that to happen, they'll soon learn to play more gently. Do you want to fully understand the workings of your cat's inner mind? Check out this video to learn shocking reasons that your kitty has to be dissatisfied with your work as a human servant.